Hello, hello. Happy hump day. I hope you guys are having a great week. We're coming in hot, baby. Coming in hot. Hello. Welcome back. I haven't been live for a day, so we gotta catch up on everything. Hello, hello, everyone. Good to see you. Breaking news. I literally, right before I went live, just got my hands on the death investigation summary for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This live was titled differently, had a different thumbnail. We were going to go over some D4VD stuff. I'll move that to later or tomorrow. I want to focus on the medical examiner's report. It literally just dropped about a half hour ago. So it is big news. We're going to get all the details on her injuries, toxicology, etc. So it is 26 pages. I don't know that we'll be reading through all of them. We'll be reading through the important stuff. So please make sure you hit the like button on your way in. It really helps us smaller channels get out there into the algorithm. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Hello, Debbie, Evie, Christine, Old Days, what up? Cree, hello, PG, Patricia, Edith, hello, hello, Samantha, hey, Joker, Casey, Psycho, okay, Angel Eyes, and Summer. Good to see everyone. Okay, this is crazy. Let's get right into it. Bear with me here because I wasn't expecting to. Actually, let's start here. So here is the death investigation report. Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez, date of injury unknown, place of injury unknown, pronounced time 9/8/2025 at 11 a.m. This is just so sad. I know, justice for Celeste. You know, we've been waiting for this, right? A very long time. And it's just good to get the truth out of what happened to her. But I was reading some posts prior to this, and some people think it could be controversial to the trial. So we'll see. Hello, Lemon. Good to see you. Cause of death, multiple penetrating injuries, homicide. How did the injury occur? With objects. So let's get into it. Let me show you guys severe medical report summary, severe postmortem changes, 2 penetrating wounds of the torso, the right abdomen with the injury to the liver, left chest with penetration of underlying intercostal space and cortical disruption of adjacent ribs. Wow. Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, we're seeing it. It says other findings, bilateral dismemberment of upper and lower extremities, multiple additional skin defects. See separate toxicology report. Wow. Right abdomen with injury. So she died from stab wounds. Wow. How sad, right? And to like for us to learn this week that I'm just thinking, sorry, I'm very pensive right now. Just for us finding out this week that she was going to be a witness to, it's absolutely crazy. RIP Celeste. So left chest with penetration of underlying intercostal space, disruption of adjacent ribs, dismemberment upper and lower extremities. Summary and opinion. Per medical examiner's report, this 15-year-old female, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was found dismembered in a state of decomposition inside of a car trunk on September 8th, 2025. Death was pronounced at the scene. Autopsy examination was limited by extensive postmortem changes. There are 2 penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges that may represent sharp force injuries. The wound on the upper abdomen penetrates the liver, and the wound on the left chest penetrates one of the intercostal spaces with disruption of the adjacent ribs, cortical surfaces. The left lung appears intact. Whoa. So he stabbed her in the abdomen and in the chest? Whoa. And then he dismembered her. This is brutal. 15-year-old, I think Lemon says, why does it say 15-year-olds when she was 14, not 15? Maybe they're going by what she would have been today. Wait, would she have been 15 today? No, because I thought she just turned 14. That might have been a mistake on their end. I don't know. That's interesting. You're right, because they said she was 13. Jeez. Okay, let's go over that again. We're examining this. So it says there are two penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges that may represent sharp force injuries. The wound on the upper abdomen penetrates the liver, and the wound on the left chest penetrates one of the left intercostal spaces. With disruption of the adjacent ribs, cortical surface, the left lung appears intact. The bilateral upper and lower extremities show full thickness, dismemberment. Multiple other skin and soft tissue defects are present without apparent associated internal injuries. The etiology of these defects is not clearly apparent due to severe postmortem changes. Postmortem toxicology performed on liver tissue shows that the presence of low level of ethanol, which may be due to postmortem changes or ingestion, and does not appear to be the contributory to the cause of death. Okay. So alcohol, but they think it could be because of the liquids that the body releases after being dead. And in the trunk, right? Because remember, he killed her in April of 2025. He dismembered her in May of 2025, and he had her in the trunk or somewhere up until she got found, correct? Yeah, which may be due to postpartum changes or liver. It does not appear to be the contributory to the cause of death. Given the history and circumstances as currently known by me in the setting of the findings by examination, ancillary studies, and in the absence of other definitive causes of death, the cause of death is multiple penetrating injuries. The manner of death is classified as a homicide. Wow. She would have been 15 a day after they found her, I think. Okay, so then they're going by what she was. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not a nurse, if you're asking me. She would have been 15 after they found her. Intercostal refers to between the ribs. Well, we'll see what it says. Let's see. Decedent information, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, female, full examination. Form sections, so everything they looked at. Exam start September 10th, 2025. Radiology reviewed, yes. CT scans, CT scan reviewed and is consistent with autopsy examination. Organ tissue donation, no. Mortuary preparation, no. General appropriately developed, Hispanic female, 71 pounds, 62 inches in height. Extremities, other extremities, see evidence of traumatic injury. Skin, other skin findings, see evidence of traumatic injury. Tattoos, we know her in 𝗲𝗺𝗵𝗽 had a tattoo, a matching tattoo. Present finger right, second medial description, she had 𝗝H, which was matching with 𝗲𝗺𝗵𝗽. Her hair is long, facial hair none, hair color black. Eye color cannot assess due to severe postmortem changes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is terrible. She was so oh my gosh. This really sucks. Give me a minute while I pull up. Oh, they couldn't even tell her eye color. How sad. How so sad. Um, Yikes. I know, right? Jeez. 71 pounds. And this is the last face she saw, allegedly. Hmm. Jeez. That's really sad. So eye color, they could not assess due to severe postmortem changes. Nothing in her eyes. Conjunctival pedicay could not assess to severe postmortem changes. Nothing on her face because of the postmortem changes. Ears are unremarkable, nose is unremarkable, oral cavity, good definition, orthodontic hardware present and in place on the upper and lower teeth. Mucosae is intact, neck normal, chest normal, abdomen normal, back unremarkable. External genitalia, female. Evidence of medical intervention, none. Postmortem changes, liver mortis, indiscernible. Rigor mortis, absent. External decomposition changes, skin color. Description, dark brown, drying. Insect activity, multiple insect larvae. Foul odor. Oh, so there was like insects growing and habitating in her body. What the? Other external decomp changes. The head is partially skeletonized with an absent left eye. Wait, her left eye was missing. Oh my God. So that means the insects could have ate it or someone took her eye? What? I don't understand. What the hell? I need to show you guys the receipts. Hold, please. Oh my goodness. Right here, you guys. It says the head is partially skeletonized with an absent left eye. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I should have probably read this before I came up and shared with you guys, but I wanted us to read it together because I was like, hey, we've been waiting for it. I had been asking for it. I've been on the phone all week. And yesterday I sent out a bunch of emails and finally, so I want to know, was it from the bugs or was it the insects or was it that someone wears her eyeball? What in the world? Internal organs and tissue, postmortem, softening, crepulation, discoloration marked. I watched this pathology educating the assessment on larvae and insects to determine time frame. If there was larvae, like if they were there, they were mutilating on her body. Wait, mutilating? No, what I mean is they were being born on her body. There was eggs present. What does that mean? Like with an absent left eye. Let me pull up ChatGPT. In an autopsy report, the absent left eye, often referred to as 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆, means that the physical globe of the eyeball and associated ocular tissues are missing from the left eye socket, which is the orbit. The finding can indicate several possibilities depending on the context of the case, which are investigated during postmortem examination. Whoa. Traumatic injuries. Disclaimer for labeling, measuring wounds. The order in which the injuries are described is for descriptive purposes only and is not intended to imply the sequence of injuries. All medical examiner diagrams are not intended to be facsimiles, nor are they drawn to scale. Skin defect. Entrance involving the right abdomen 21 inches below the top of the head and 1 inch right of midline is a 3/4 inch length penetrating wound with smooth edges. Involving the right abdomen at 21 inches below the top of the head. Wow. The wound is disoriented in a 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock directions. The wound track sequentially perforates the skin and soft tissue of the right abdomen and the liver. Direction front to back. Wow, I'm disturbed. Okay, here we go. Layman's terms. There is a wound on the right side of the abdomen, the stomach area, about 21 inches below the top of the head and 1 inch right to the right of the center of the body. The wound is about 3/4 of the inch long, has smooth edges, and runs horizontally side to side. The path of it. The wound goes through the skin and soft tissue of the right abdomen and into the liver, creating a small oval-shaped hole in the liver. The wound is about 1.5 inches deep. The wound travels from the front of the body towards the back. Skin defect. 9/16 of an inch. Involving the lateral lower chest, 15 inches below the top of the head and 6 inches left of midline is a 9/16 inch penetrating wound with smooth edges. The wound track sequentially perforates the skin and soft tissue of the lateral left lower chest, left intercostal space, and enters the chest cavity. The wound track has a depth of at least 2 inches. The adjacent ribs show disruption of the cortical bone. Multiple skin defects are also present over the torso, with many perforating the skin and soft tissue without identifiable soft tissue hemorrhage or associated internal organ injuries. They range from 5/16 inch to 1 3/4 inches to greatest dimension. Multiple superlinear abrasions are also noted on the right dorsal hand. Are those defensive wounds or are they from him well, I mean, from him chopping her up, dismembering her? I hate to say it that way, but it's what it is. It's brutal. He deserves the death penalty all the way across the board. Hard stop, period. And I hope that in California, this is what reawakens the death penalty, because I don't think we've had a case since 2006. Simple plain language of this paragraph is there are several wounds on the top of the torso, the chest, and the stomach area. Many of them go through the skin and into the tissue underneath, but they do not show signs of bleeding under the skin or damage to any internal organs. The wound is vary in size from 5/16 of an inch to 1 3/4. There are several shallow scratch-like marks on the back of the right hand. I can't get past all of this, especially knowing she's going to be a witness. She has been groomed. Very sad. Very sad. Wow. Smooth edges. He used a saw to mutilate, dismember her, maybe a laser. No, I think it was a knife. Sounds like he stabbed her in the heart. Let's continue. The upper and lower extremities show full thickness dismemberment with relatively flat cut surfaces through the soft tissue and bone. No discernible hemorrhage is identified at these sites. Multiple fragments of blue plastic material are found embedded in cut surfaces. What is of blue plastic material? Maybe from her body being held in the medical examiners, or from like them putting her in a bag. And we don't know if they were trash bags, body bags. It doesn't really matter, but in a sense of it's effed up all the way across the board. Representative fragments are collected by medical examiner criminalists and submitted to the evidence department. The right upper extremity is dismembered 9 inches from the top of the shoulder. Oh, wow. Ugh, are you sick? I'm sick. Literally. What was she a witness of to child crimes? Whether she was the one or someone else reported him, she was going to be a witness. Her own. So it says the right arm was cut off about 9 inches below the top of the shoulder. What the hell? What the hell? The left upper extremity is dismembered 6 inches from the top of the shoulder. The left and fourth fingers are amputated. Oh my God. So there's an eye missing. There's fingers missing. The left and fourth fingers are amputated. The right lower extremity is dismembered on 2 places. One site is 12 inches from the top of the leg, and the other is 10 inches from the bottom of the heel. The left lower extremity is dismembered in 2 places. One site is 9 inches from the top of the leg, and the other is 15 inches from the bottom of the heel. It's so much more worse than I envisioned. Where the hell do they not have her fingers? It says the fourth and fifth fingers are amputated from her left hand. I'm so confused. Where are they? Did he keep them? Or did they just lose them in the middle of transporting her body? I say them because I feel like there was more than one person involved, and there was. There was. Let's not lie. Let's keep it a buck. People knew that he was having sex with a minor. People knew that he groomed her. She was at the concerts. His parents knew. All of them are guilty to some extent. And I hate to sound so like I'm evil, but it's true, and you guys know it. It's being complicit. It's being complicit. And if you're a man and you can't tell what a child is from a woman, then there's some issues, and we need to get you some help. Like maybe take you to a science professional, a doctor. I don't know. He sliced the Achilles tendons 5 inches above the bottom of the heel. Why leave her in the Tesla? Where the hell is her bot? Like, this is so effed up. So this paragraph, let's repeat it again in layman's terms. The right arm was cut off about 9 inches below the shoulder. The left arm was cut off about 6 inches below the shoulder. The ring finger and the pinky finger on the left hand were cut off. Oh, I just cannot. The ring finger and pinky finger on the left hand were cut off. The right leg was cut in 2 places. One cut about 12 inches from the top of the leg, another cut above 10 inches from the heel. The left leg was also cut in 2 places. One cut about 9 inches from the top of the leg, another cut about 15 inches from the heel. This is so brutal. I'm freaking out. Are you guys freaking out? Am I the only one? I probably should have read this before I went live because this is my natural. I think there's another diagram page. Yeah, let's go. I'm showing you guys just a little bit of everything. So here's the part that I just read to you that states the right arm was cut off about 9 inches below the shoulder. The right arm was cut off about 6 inches below the shoulder. The ring and pinky finger on the left hand were cut off. And where are they? Did they not recover those items of her body? You guys, I know it's like, okay, we're reading about it. We didn't personally know her, but like imagine if this was your family member. That's always a good way to put yourself in someone else's shoes. What if this was your niece, your daughter, my sister? Like you know what I mean? It's absolutely insane. Body cavities, organs in normal anatomic position, yes, smooth, not right pleural cavity, smooth. Okay, those are the things we don't need to really read about. Pericardium intact, no adhesions. Coronary arteries, right dominant. Okay, this is just normal configuration, pulmonary artery, ascending aorta, appropriate caliber without torosity or widening, major arteries, normal configuration, thoracic aorta, appropriate caliber without torosity or widening. Her tongue was absent of trauma and lesions. Stomach, contents absent, pill fragments absent. Gastric mucosa intact with rugal folds without ulcers or mass lesions. Her liver had evidence of traumatic injury. We'll read that part. Severe postmortem changes noted in her kidneys, bladder, severe postmortem changes noted. Oh my God. Female reproductive tract present and not enlarged, without endometrial lesions and hemorrhages. Ovaries and fallopian tubes for age, vagina without lesions, breast tissue without lesions. Severe postmortem changes noted on her breast tissue. Man. Her thymus not identified due to severe postmortem changes. Let's go down to head and central nervous system. Severe postmortem changes. Oh my gosh. Severe postmortem changes on the base of her, basically her whole head. What the this is so sick. Yeah, they had a matching tattoo that said shh or something of the sort, right? I can't believe everything she went through. This is vile, RIP. I know. I know. So it says a part of the brainstem that controls basic functions like breathing and heartbeat. The body had significant changes after death, decomposition, which may make some details harder to determine. Mm, yes, photos taken prior and during the examination. Please make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please, please, please. Thank you. Tissue retention, stock jars, quantity 2. Liver, severe postmortem changes. Slide 1, tissue liver representative section of liver shows extensive autolysis that precludes further evaluation. Additional samples taken, finger, typing nails, liver, jawbone, typing bone. Ancillary testing, radiology, toxicology, histology. Okay, so now we're at the toxicology. So, okay. So there was alcohol, benzodiazepines, methamphetamine, and MDMA. What? I wonder if they drugged her. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. So positive for benzodiazepine in an autopsy means that drugs from the benzodiazepine class were found in the person's system. These medications, often used for anxiety, sleep, or seizures, examples include Xanax, Valium, and Ativan. Positive just means the drug or its breakdown products was detected in the body. It's important to note that this does not automatically mean that the drug caused the person's death. It only shows it was present. Generally, what investigators looked at is how much was in the system, whether it was prescribed, if it interacted with other substances, and the overall cause of death. Whoa. Methamphetamine and MDMA. Oh, I think they tried to, yeah, poison her or drug her or he. So they could get rid of her, quiet her, kill her, I don't know, dismember her. So positive for methamphetamine and MDMA. It means that both of these drugs were found in the person's body during toxicology testings. In simple terms, methamphetamine is a power stimulant, often called meth, that speeds up the body and the brain. MDMA is often called ecstasy or Molly, is another stimulant that can also affect mood and perception. What positive means is that the lab detected these substances or their byproducts in the system. It does not automatically mean that they were the cause of death. Again, what do investigators look at? They look at the amount of drug in the body, whether they were taken together, if there were other drugs involved. So basically, it confirms drug use before death, but the cause of death depends on the full investigation, not just this result. I have like no words. Could he be that he cut off the finger with the tattoo on it? It could. Klonopin, yeah. Everything else was no. Let me see what their key says for inconclusive. Okay, so let's go back and look at the inconclusive. Designer opioids, inconclusive. Methamphetamine, inconclusive. I was going to cover this, I don't know if it was an article or video. It was in my David Live that I had planned for today, but somebody at like, I think it was like a gas station or something, came forward. Now people are speaking out after he's being charged, came forward and said that Celeste and D4VD David went into the shop and that Celeste was super high, super high. So not only had he groomed her and was doing whatever, but he was also giving her drugs. It's disturbing, you guys. It's a lot worse than I thought. I mean, I didn't think it could get any worse, to be honest, but wow. 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 Where's her two fingers? What happened to her eyeball? I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I want to go back to that. Did I see that right? Let's go back to that real quick. The left and fourth fingers are amputated. The head is partially skeletonized with an absent left eye. I can't. I can't. It's unfortunate it doesn't say because we're gonna be left with questions. Was it the after death process, why she was missing her left eye, and the fact that she was decomposing in a trunk and somewhere else for months? Or did they take her eye? They, by David, his demons, whoever's involved, allegedly, or maybe not. Maybe it was just David. The left and fourth fingers are amputated. Where are those fingers? I'm so disturbed. Not only groomed on stream when she said about him raping kids, notice how he put his hand to her mouth. This started when she was like 10, 11 years old, you guys. Yeah. Poor baby girl. You have to think like, okay, Celeste went through this, but what about the person doing it? Like, that's a sick person. They tried it. Remember on the previous paragraph, I think it said there's 2 wounds on each leg. So it's like, was it here? It almost sounds like they started, stopped, and then started again. I know we read it somewhere that there was like 2 cuts or something, or am I tripping? Let me go back and look on the notes. So we know her right arm was cut off about 9 inches below the shoulder. The left arm was cut off about 6 inches below the shoulder. The right finger and the pinky finger on the left hand were cut off. There are several wounds to the torso, chest, and stomach area. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to read. The right leg was cut in 2 places. And the left leg too was in 2 places. And it's not easy to cut, a human up. It's really not. Our skin is an organ and it's so much thicker than you guys think or could imagine. Where did this happen? In his house? There's so many questions we have, huh? Her ring finger was amputated. That's crazy. What's wrong with Dave? This is horrible. Sick to my stomach. From the list stuff, yes, I'm a science major and I've cut up lungs and breast. for educational purposes in science classes, anatomy classes, and it's that even itself is just hard. So, and it smells and it's thick and it's brutal. Even if you like the sciences. Where did this happen? Who knew? Who transported that car to different locations? There's so many things here we need that discovery information. Wonder if he kept it as a trophy. I can't. So 3/4 defect, 3 to 9 o'clock, 2 to the top hand, 1 right of midline. So this is where she was stabbed. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Let me go back to my notes. Yeah, the wound on the right side of the abdomen is a stomach area, about 21 inches below the top of the head and 1 inch to the right center of the body. The wound goes through soft tissue. Okay, we know that, creating oval shaped hole in the liver. How sad. So this is where she had injuries. Oh my God, listen to this. Her skull partially skeletonized. One of her eyes, what would this be? We're looking anatomically, this would be her left, I think. Globe not present. Her other eye, globe with extensive postmortem changes. What the hell? So it was from just decomp. Basically, in simple terms, in layman's terms, is the eyeball is missing. The eyeball is missing. One eyeball is not present at all. The other has extensive postmortem changes. Celeste Rivas Hernandez autopsy reveals that there's one globe of her eyeballs missing, you guys. And the other one has extensive postmortem changes. I cannot get over this. Mouth intact hardware present, where she was stabbed. Oh my God. And this is where she was cut. Like it's different when we talk about it without seeing it, and actually having the autopsy report because we've been waiting. We've been waiting. This is where she was cut. Oh my God, who does this? Sick. I feel like it's a episode of Saw. You know what I mean? Like you see this shit in scary movies. He probably froze the body or is decomposition this slow. I'm thinking this is sick, you guys. It's sick. If that body was in his house too, just like rolling around from place to place, fridge to fridge, box to box, bag to bag, I can't. How is her soul to live in peace after this was brutally done to her? Whoa. Whoa. I don't get it. I'm trying to understand the mind of a killer. Why dismember her? Why? If not for an odd purpose, which makes me think that weird stuff he likes, Why dismember her? Just killing her wasn't enough. I don't know, you guys. This is so disturbing. I think his manager helped. I just had tumor removed. They had to knock me out and fillet my oh my god, I'm sorry, Average. Wondering if he kept it as a trophy. Totally sick and twisted. Still hard to say depending on what all and where he stored the body. There's like a cut at her ankle, so they were gonna try to cut off her ankle. Multiple linear abrasions on her right hand. Wow. Yeah, right here it says her right index finger had a tattoo labeled matching tattoo with David. Synopsis: 2-hour autopsy. Notification request by LAPD. Information is preliminary and subject to change due to the ongoing investigation. According to the reported information on August 26, 2025, a passerby reported an abandoned black Tesla that was parked on the street at the Los Angeles Department of Transportation. The employee cited the vehicle on September 3rd, 2025. It was impounded on September 3rd, 2025. Then it was impounded on September 5th, and they towed it redacted. They blacked out when they towed it. I wonder why. On September 8th, 2025, a manager noticed a foul smell emanating from the vehicle and reported it to Auto Detective Clore. Detective Clore inspected the vehicle's front trunk and found a large black zippered body bag with handles. You guys, note, it was not just a black trash bag. It was a body bag. What the fuck? What? Can you just buy a body bag online? It wasn't just a black trash bag. It was a body bag with handles. Let me Google this. We're going to see. What the hell? And if he bought a body bag, then they planned this and knew what they were doing, because they didn't just panic and grab any trash bag. They went and you can't just walk up into Walmart and say, "Can I have a body bag?" Like, does Walmart sell body bags? I have questions. There's no way her soul could cross over into the afterlife if she suffered through. Yes, you can legally buy a body bag in most places. Okay, that's not true. I've never seen a body bag at Walmart. Is it legal? Body bags called human remain pouches are not restricted items. They are sold as medical emergency equipment, disaster response supplies. You can find them on Amazon, eBay, medical supply stores. Exactly. What? They bought a body bag off Amazon? I bet the Celebrite data will give that information too, if he searched it on his phone. Oh yeah, what do you know? Oh my god, I have to show you guys this. Let me pull it up. I have to show you guys this Google search of body bags. It's a little delayed. Like, really? Really, D4VD? Oh my god, the live I had planned before this regarding D4BD is so good. I will absolutely do it later today or tomorrow because it goes into his lyrics and everything. But then this was released, so I was like, I want to cover this. A body bag with handles. Blue pieces were found as well. How disturbing. My heart breaks for Celeste, man. It really does. It really, really does. I'm just shook. Blue pieces were found, so I wonder if they put her in a different bag and then a body bag, or maybe they were transferring her. He probably had all this stuff at his house from all the weird music videos he filmed. David needs to be studied. There's no way his brain is normal. So you think it was one for his creepy videos? You remember how we covered that video? By the way, I had to clip it out of my video because it was copyrighted. I did a live on David, this whole thing, Monday, and I played a video where he drags a body into the trunk, and YouTube made me cut it out of the video. So if you're wondering where the chat went on that video, on that live, I had to trim it out. But now I know I can't play any D4VD videos, but I did want to cover in the David live. I was going to cover a bunch of lyrics that I thought were important to the situation here at hand. Let's continue. LAPD West Bureau Homicide Detective Lamberti on September 8th, 2025 at 13:47 hours, Detective Lamberti reported a homicide death to the medical examiner clerk Celine Guzman. Acting Watch Commander E. Burns assigned me to the field death investigation at 14:04 hours. I confirmed the criminalist response with criminalist Anthony. I robbed on scene at 15:19 hours and cleared the scene at 18:28. Location of death is 1015 North Mansfield Avenue, Los Angeles, County of Los Angeles. I spoke with LAPD West Bureau Homicide Detective Lamberti on scene. He prefaced his statement by informing me that this case was being actively transferred to LAPD Robbery Homicide Division Detective Byers. Information is preliminary and subject to change due to the ongoing investigation. He told me that on August 26, 2025, a passerby called the Los Angeles Department of Transportation to report an abandoned black Tesla parked on the street. The Department of Transportation employees cited the vehicle on September 3rd. They impounded it on September 5th, and they towed it on redacted. On September 8th, 2025, a manager noticed a foul odor emanating from the vehicle and reported it to Auto Detective Clore. Detective Clore inspected the car's front trunk and discovered a large black zippered body bag with handles. He partially opened the bag to reveal a human torso and the back of a head. Due to obvious signs of death, he pronounced the death on scene at 1100 hours without medical intervention. There is no person in interest in custody at this time. So that was back at this time when they did the autopsy. The location was on the second story of the police garage impound lot situated on the northwest corner of North Mansfield Avenue and Romaine Street. There are multiple vehicles parked throughout the lot. The decedent was lying inside the trunk of a Tesla redacted. The Tesla was parked on the southeast quadrant of the lot facing east. The front trunk was open and yellow police tape surrounded the nearest vehicles, including the Tesla. From a distance, a black body bag was visible and exposed the front trunk of the car. I did not observe any paraphernalia. Body examination. I observed the decedent's posterior head and torso lying prone in body bag inside of the front trunk of the Tesla. Her head was oriented towards the north. She appeared of indeterminate age and ethnicity with dark hair and natural teeth. She was wearing a tube top, underwear, leggings, and socks. I observed multiple holes in the front and back of the tube top. She was missing both arms above the elbows. and both legs above the knees. Underneath the body bag was a black trash bag that contained the decedent's apparent compiled bilateral arms and legs. They appear to have been dismembered into several fragments. I cannot get over this, you guys. I will not get over this like all day. Her right hand was damaged and he had replicated multiple shirts with blood handprint. Yeah. This case is disturbing AF. His lyrics are so dark, along with her murder, and the red string theory is connected to her too. Blue pieces of different bag at the house and body bag for the trunk, possibly thinking it would hide the smell. The decedent was in advanced state of decomp demonstrated by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction, insect activity, partial skeletonization, and skin slippage. I'll show you guys what I'm sharing now, what I'm reading. This is so sad. The decedent was in advanced state of decomp by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction, insect activity, partial skeletonization. I noted an approximate 1-inch linear defect on her abdomen and circular defect on her left flank. The left ring and pinky fingers have been mutilated, and I did not locate them. Oh my God. I'm going to have nightmares. I can usually deal with this kind of stuff, but wow. Wow, wow, wow. So partial skeletonization means that some parts of the body have decomposed so much that the bone is visible while other parts still have tissue. Basically, the body is partly down to the bone, but not completely. They did not locate her left finger and pinky fingers. You guys, I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. And this better not be what gets him off the death penalty. Like, if they're like, tell us where the rest of her body is, we won't give you the death penalty. No, he needs and deserves the death penalty. And as a citizen, being born and raised in California, absolutely. I think it's necessary in the situation. That's the finger she had his name tattooed. Was it? If so, oh my goodness. He was like trying to get rid of. It's probably in his freezer. But they already searched. Takes 3 weeks to several years for skeletonization. She has a tattoo that reads SHHH on the inside of the right index finger. Okay, so no, it wasn't the finger with the tattoo. That's good, because that was on her right index finger. So the fingers that are missing are her left ring and pinky fingers. I did not observe any other scars or tattoos. The decedent was not ID viewable due to decomposition of the face and was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingers. Oh my God, how sad. She was assigned Jane Doe. Her face. I want to cry for her. What? I mean, we obviously assumed because of the decomp, but like her ID was not viewable because of the decomp and waterlogged fingers. Oh my God. My heart just breaks for her. Dr. Law positively identified the decedent as Celeste, redacted via dental. She had to be identified via dental records because she was so decomposed. He's a monster. So waterlogged fingers means that the water was soaked for a period of time, causing them to look wrinkle, swollen or soft, pale or whitish. Basically, the finger shows signs of being in water long enough to change their appearance. Yeah, I hope that helps Edwina, the waterlogged fingers. So basically, her fingers were sitting, what she had left of her fingers were sitting in her own bodily fluids for so long that they couldn't even do DNA. Wow. Per Detective Joshua Byers notified the decedent's parents on September 16th, 2025. Her leggings were collected as evidence, her underwear, socks, shirt, body bag handles. I bet you, what if they found DNA on the body bag? And that's what they have on him as well. Listen, it better be more DNA than they found on the sheath from Brian Koberger. That's all I'm saying. Better be more than that. I'm wondering if that's what it is, and that's what's gonna, be the last nail in the coffin for David. Was he part of that online death cult? Probably. There's a chance investigators found her missing finger and eye, but haven't shared it with the public. So they collected body bag handles, the body bag, the hair kit collected, insects collected. Oh my God, insects collected. Wow. There was that many. They were multiplicating on her body. What a nightmare. What an absolute sick, sick case, man. Maybe they found tools at his house as I can't. I can't. I can't. Swab of handle. Oh, I bet that's what it was. I bet that's what it was, amongst other things, you guys. I bet that's what they have on him. They found his DNA on the damn handles of the body bag or the zipper or both, because they collected the handles, the zipper, toenail. Trace number 1, blue plastic pieces on right leg. Please don't tell me he tried to dismember her when she was already in a bag dismembered. He was, like, trying to dismember her again. Blue plastic bag, so she was in a blue plastic bag before she was in the body bag. Or she went into the body bag in a blue plastic bag too. The fingerprints on the DNA and the handle most likely. I have no words, you guys. I'm so sad. I kinda want to just cry for her. Like, I just wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. He was trying to get rid of the evidence all the way across the board. Toenail, so trace number 1, blue plastic pieces on right leg, collected September 8th, 2025. Trace number 2, blue plastic pieces on legs and arms, collected on September 8th, 2025. Trash bag collected on September 8th, 2025. Zipper collected on the 8th. Zipper, top and bottom zippers collected on the 8th. Investigating Agency, LAPD. Timeline. On September 8th, 2025 at 13:52 hours, I received a request from medical examiner for evidence collection at a scene. At 14:58 hours, I departed the Forensic Science Center. At 15:27 hours, we arrived, began processing. We departed the scene. We arrived back at FSC. At 19:43 hours, I completed the evidence collection. Medical examiner personnel collected personal property, examined the body, and photographed clothing, took most of the notes, transported decedent. Scene description. Okay, let's get into this. Hey, Knox, good to see you. Yeah, he is a demon. He's an absolute demon. I can't even get over this. I can't get over it. I'm going to be thinking about this all day. The scene occurred in the parking structure at 1015 North Mansfield Avenue in Los Angeles, California. On the second floor of the parking structure was a black Tesla Model X with a Texas license plate. The Tesla was parked facing east with multiple cars nearby. The decedent was in an enclosed storage compartment located under the hood at the front of the Tesla, known as the frunk. Prior to my arrival, the frunk was open and the body bag was unwrapped and opened to view the decedent. The decedent was dismembered and was inside a black body bag and a black trash bag. The decedent was severely decomposed and there was decomposition fluid on the outside and inside of the bags. The decedent was female, had dark hair with decomposition fluid and insect activity. Also, insect activity was observed on the body and the body bag. The body bag had double zipper, 3 handles on each length side and a handle on the top and bottom width. The body bag took most of the frunk space. That was the one that we just looked at, huh? Let me pull that picture up. The body had a double zipper, 3 handles on each side. Oh my gosh. Did we literally pull up almost the same, if not probably the similar? This is it. Double zipper and 3 handles on each length side and a handle on the top and body width end. Wow. Wow. He doesn't seem very smart. He would not think about DNA if he was in a hurry. Who else is involved? That's my point. I've been saying this. I'm like, who else? And they better have not got immunity. Well, I guess in one way, here's the thing. At this point, you're not considered a snitch. That's not snitching. At this point, you're the hero if you're going and telling them all about this and you know something about it. Kudos to those people that have decided to come clean because this is an inhumane crime. It's brutal, it's disgusting, it's demonic, it's diabolical. And at this point, you're not snitching, but at the same time, it's like accomplices need to be held accountable. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I just don't even know what to say. The body bag had double zipper, 3 handles on each length side and a handle on the top and bottom with end. The body bag took most of the frunk space inside the frunk. The body bag contained the decedent's head and torso. You guys, and to know she had a missing eyeball and fingers, I am screaming in my head right now. Where the hell are her fingers? The decedent's head pointed north and her thighs pointed south. The trash bag was at the south end of the frunk beneath the body bag. The trash bag was tied and contained the decedent's dismembered limbs, arms with hands, and legs with feet. Yes, if you guys missed the beginning of the autopsy, she is missing one of her eyeballs, and the other one was so badly decomposed, and she's missing her left ring finger and pinky finger. Yeah, Bren. You never hold my hand, the voicemail. I can't. The trash bag was tied and contained the decedent's dismembered limbs, arms with hands, and legs with feet. The decedent's arms were cut and removed at the bicep, and the legs were cut and removed above and below the knee. Remember, we looked at this. This is where she was cut, dismembered. I agree, Knox. Knox says, I think they were planning on using the burn cage. I do too. I do too. And I wonder if someone purposely did this so that he would get caught and someone would find the car. I wonder if it was an accident that they left the car. I wonder, I have so many questions. Why else would they buy it? Wow. So let's see. It says the trash bag was tied and contained the decedent's dismembered limbs, arms with hands, and legs with feet. The decedent's arms were cut and removed at the bicep, and the legs were cut and removed above and below the knee. Before moving the body bag, the handles and zippers were swabbed. The body bag and trash bag were removed from the front and placed on a plastic sheet. The decedent was then removed from the bags and put on another plastic sheet. The decedent's left hand was missing the ring and pinky fingers. Right here. The decedent left hand was missing the ring and pinky fingers. Do you think it was Neil that got scared? Yeah. Yeah, I think Neo knew a lot more than he put out to be knowing. And I think they locked him up, and I think hopefully someone in his family was like, "You better spill the beans, dude, or you're fucking gonna be locked up too." I think you guys, by the charges, I have the charging document too. We've covered some of it, but I covered it the day it dropped, but I didn't show it because I didn't have the actual copy, but I have it now. But um one of the charges, the lewd and lascivious acts, I think that some of this was recorded. I do, Nanya. Nanya says, I bet there's actual footage of what they did. And I agree with that. I think they have footage of her being raped, groomed, if not dismembered. And I just hope this hasn't stated whether she was alive, whether they think she was alive or not prior to being dismembered. I would want to know, like, was she already, I'm sure she was. I think she was already dead. I think the stab wounds and the rugs combined, or maybe not, unalived her. And then I think they were gonna they dismembered her and planned to do I don't know what. I hope she was gone already. Me too. 40 TV no doubt includes CCTV and other video evidences. Exactly. and lewd and lascivious acts. I think they only know that from seeing footage, right? Or else it would be 𝗲𝗍𝗄. Wouldn't it be 𝗲𝗍𝗄, kind of like the Maddie Soto? Or I don't know, what's the difference? I'm not a detective, I'm not an investigator, I'm just a girl who loves true crime, but I think that there was footage. Basically, the climax of my story is that I think there was footage of something, if not more than one thing. The decedent was wearing a discolored tube top shirt, discolored underwear, black leggings, and black socks. The shirt appeared to have 3 cut artifacts. The leggings were cut around the knees, with the upper portion on the torso and the lower portions rolled down to both ankles and the feet. At the cut site of the right leg attached to the torso, there was small blue pieces. So they cut her limbs off with her leggings on. The leggings were cut around the knees, with the upper portion on the torso and the lower portions rolled down to both ankles and the feet. At the cut site of the right leg attached to the torso, there were small blue plastic pieces. Also, the leg and arms from the trash bag had small blue plastic pieces at the cut sites. And then there's 2 sentences that are redacted. The leggings were black, but they were so discolored from bodily fluids by the time I think they got to the autopsy. So they must have to, I'm sure they do. It's disgusting. She was a baby still. David got off on the fact that he made a whole music video with an iPhone. That mother effer recorded this all. I think so too. Because she was a minor and no proof, I would assume. Morgan said she was dead for about 5 days before she was dismembered. The DA said it was very horrific, brutal, so I wonder what happened. I hope she didn't suffer, but the DA made it sound like she did. I think she did. My hopes and prayers are that she didn't, and I wish she didn't, but I think Celeste did suffer. I do. They must have been on some good rugs who could physically do this. I'm like, holy shoot. This is just absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. The leggings were cut around the knees and the upper portion on the torso and the lower portions were rolled down to both ankles and the feet. At the cut site of the right leg attached to the torso, there were small blue plastic pieces. Also, the legs and arms from the trash bag had small blue plastic pieces at the cut sites. What are the, I guess. Wow. Yeah, she suffered. I think so. Oh my gosh. And who knows how long she was suffering before, if she was trying to get away from him, if she had already gone to the police, if someone did, he found out that she was gonna be saying something and he killed her. So basically, in layman's terms, this paragraph right here is the person was wearing a stained tube top and stained underwear, black leggings, and black socks. The shirt looked like it had been cut into 3 places. In 3 places, the leggings were cut at the knees. The top part stayed on the body while the bottom parts were pulled down and left around the ankles and feet. So they pulled her leggings down before they dismembered her. There was also small blue plastic pieces found at some of the cut areas. On the right leg where it was cut, on the arms and legs that were found in trash bag. In simple terms, the clothing had been cut and small pieces of blue plastic were found near where the body was cut. From saw blade that has blue on it. Then they did all the horrible stuff to her. Well, pain your body will protect you to a point. She was a baby. Cutting her up is what gets me confused. Why so much damage? Unless she was drugged to death. I think they did, or he did, David. I think that's why she had pills like benzodiazepines in her system. I think that they tried to do that the day that they murdered her, or he murdered her. I keep saying they like it's more than one person, but the only one being held charged right now is David. Pray she didn't suffer, but if he facted, he's very scary, and I'm still gonna say suffered. Yeah. Sounds like this kid is sick in the head. Morgan also thinks she was working with the cost to get him as a pedo or because she could expose him as a pedo. They must have been on some good rugs. Remember the live stream he did with Celeste where she said something about David? Yeah, we watched that yesterday. The children, guaranteed he had help. I think so too. I think so too, Teresa. His bodyguard or whoever took I think he had help from more than one person. It's sick, Summer. Evidence collected. I collected the following items of evidence on September 8th, 2025. They were released to the ME evidence custodian. The insects were released to the ME evidence custodian. That's how many insects there was. Wow. I just I don't I'm just like shook. I'm just absolutely shook. The insects were released. That's how many there was. They were released. Wow. They were released to the custodian on September 11th. Hair kit collected in a head hair kit, packaged sealed into a black biohazard bag. Insects collected in a plastic container with 70% alcohol, packaged and sealed into a brown paper bag. You guys, I can't. A lot of bugs. Those bugs shells will be everywhere. I remember they studied the bugs in the Kaylee, yeah, they're probably gonna do the same here too. And they will do autopsies and toxicology on the bugs. They're not released, they are processed for evidence. Wow. The following items were collected, packaged into individual swab box, and sealed into the same physical evidence envelope. Swabs of the side of the handles of the body bag, top handle of the body bag, top zipper of the body bag, bottom zipper of the body bag. The following items were cut from the body bag, packaged and sealed individually into a PE envelope. The PE envelopes were then placed and sealed in the same black biohazard bag. Body bag top and the bottom handles wrapped together in butcher paper. Body bag side handles times 6 wrapped together in paper. Zipper top placed in a coin envelope. Zipper bottom placed in a coin envelope. The following items were collected and wrapped in separate paper bindles and sealed individually. The PE envelopes were then placed and sealed in the same black biohazard bag. Trace number 1, blue plastic pieces on the right leg attached to the torso. Blue plastic pieces on the legs and arms. It reminds me of Dexter. That's my favorite show. But you know in the Dexter show, like, so it almost sounds like he dismembered her with a trash bag. So the blood and stuff, yeah, I know, it sounds brutal. And then they put her into the body bag. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they thought this out, or he thought this out. Whoever is involved, David. They put her in a trash bag, maybe for the blood to drain or not to leave evidence or something, or maybe that's all they had at the time, and then they put her into the body bag. Because it was cut into her, so hey, badass, good to see you, love. I'm glad they finally charged us. I know. Rex Heuermann laid plastic down. These people are sick. You guys, wow. Wow. This autopsy has been out of this world. Out of this world. I want to pull this up. Let's finish this. The following items were collected and placed into the black biohazard bag, then placed into a BPB and sealed. Leggings, 3 pieces, underwear, shirt, socks, both socks. The following items were collected and sealed in the same black biohazard double bag. Detective J. Byers authorized the disposal of the bag on September 18th. Body bag, trash bag. So when they described dismemberment, they're noting a body was separated after death. The kind of trauma is taken very seriously in forensic work and is analyzed to understand when it happened, before or after death, what kind of tool might have been used, and the circumstances of the case. It's complex, requires specialized tools and knowledge, and is typically only handled by trained professionals. Dismembering human limbs. There was another step. Someone, if not, just left the car randomly. They never complete the entire process. Prayers for her spirit and her family. Yes, abuelita, you're right. Not very good. I just don't understand why they did not bury the entire car, as if he knew he would. That's the thing, is I'm thinking that someone meant for this to be found. Maybe someone that knew about it or that was involved. Because I don't think he would have just abandoned his car. He was on tour, right? Wow. I'm still stuck on the ethanol that was found in her body. Recap. There was ethanol found. There was benzodiazepines found. There was methamphetamine/MDA found, MDMA. She had one of her eyeballs missing. And she had 2 of her fingers missing. So right here, the left, 4th, and 5th fingers were amputated. The head is partially skeletonized with absent left eye. That's just crazy. Where are her fingers? Where's her fingers? How can her family have peace? I'm so sad for them and everyone. Even though I know a lot of people believe her parents, should be held accountable, et cetera, et cetera. We don't know yet. Let's just wait and hear everything. Okay, here it is. I wanted to go back to this. Benzodiazepines, present. Methamphetamine and MDMA, present. Inconclusive designer opioids. So it's possible there could have been more. They just couldn't test for it, or I don't know what that means. Let's look that up. Inconclusive. What did I say? Inconclusive for designer opioids. Liver tissue shows the presence of low level of ethanol. So inconclusive for designer opioids means the test clearly didn't show whether those drugs are present or not. Breaking it down, designer opioids are man-made drugs similar to opioids like fentanyl-type substances. Inconclusive equals the results were unclear or not strong enough to confirm. So basically, they couldn't tell for sure if those drugs were in her system. I can't get over the left eye. I just can't. Kratom as a designer opioid, Xanny and opioid for that. Don't do that. Oh shit, that was on all kinds of stuff. Shouldn't be mixed. I don't even think Dr. Yeah, I know. I think they were trying to overdose her. I think he did that. Maybe he invited her over, lured her back in, was like, come over, let's get high, let's do whatever they did. He knew she was going to tell. I want to know more details about that. I'm sure we'll hear at trial or whatnot. But I want to know if he had found out from someone that she was going to tell, if someone else reported the crime. I did pull up because I was going to review these in the David live that I was going to do. I did pull up the lyrics for the song he made about Celeste. Yeah, I know. So like said, so this is what it's like to not need weed to get me high. I love it when you hold me, when you cry, just because, just because. Be my Valentine. I want to make Cupid suicidal. These are the kind of thoughts that cross my mind just because, just because. I love you so much. I love you so much. Darling, I would love to ease your mind, but you only open up when you get high. If I had the money, I would buy us time just to get by, just to stay high. Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Oh, Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed. But I digress because I love you so, so much. I love you so, so much. Those are the lyrics to the Celeste song he wrote. Unreleased Celeste song. I can't even. That's just so wild. Yeah, you guys should listen to the songs, some of his songs. I don't want to give him like the money, but he released a whole album titled Withered. after killing Celeste. So I'm wondering how much that will play into everything. She was on rugs for a while, possibly. I think she was. There's someone came forward allegedly um yesterday or today and said that they saw Celeste with David and that Celeste was like high out of her mind. So I'm wondering if she was high for a lot of this abuse, a lot of this relationship. Yeah, and he cried on stage about it, and he had a concert where they had a coffin. So he was literally screaming out to the world about what had happened. Yeah, insane. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Craziness. Here's the theory. She tried to OD herself and died. David found her and tried to hide the body and couldn't finish it. No, I don't think she did that to anything to herself. I think if she was gonna go tell on him, she wouldn't have done that. Where'd it go wrong was the induction of red string theory in his videos. Also, it's over Celeste look like in the video. Yeah. Wondering if they examined his OFB knife he was showing off. I'm sure they found it. I was wondering about that too. Kratom doesn't come up on a drug test. Xanax, Xanny and opioid for someone that don't do. Yeah. Wow. Lots of information. So there was rugs in the system, missing 2 fingers, missing an eyeball. They couldn't even ID her from her face because she had of decomposition, postmortem death. They had to identify her by her dental records. Discussing his train of thought and still makes music about it. I wonder if there's a reason why she decided to turn him in for the relationship. I'm wondering if someone else did. If maybe another girl he was seeing or maybe someone online turned him in. I hope they don't offer him any kind of plea deal either. It's savage. So much anger into it. I know. So right abdomen, she was stabbed. Let's go back to the charts right here. She was stabbed right here and right here. Stabbed, dismembered, left to rot, globe not present, her left eyeball. And then globe with extensive postmortem changes. So yeah, her ring finger and her pinky were absent. What the hell? Where's her fingers, you guys? And does he know? I know. The torture she endured. I know, abuelita. Yeah, it was right. I just can't see him doing it, but if they have evidence, it looks like I mean, somebody did it, you guys. Whether obviously they found he wouldn't be arrested if they didn't have his DNA. You know what I mean? I think that DNA was found on those bags, maybe on the body bag. They were gonna cut her feet off, or he or she, they were gonna cut. She had David tattooed on her ring finger. Okay, so she had the 𝗍𝗏𝗍𝗃 tattooed on her right index finger, and she had David tattooed on her ring finger. Whoa. The finger that's missing. Maybe who pulled an elite move. They tried to cut off her foot right here at the ankle is what it sounds like. Looks like. Back here, she had multiple defects. So they tried to stab her more than once. They tried to stab her multiple times. Is that what that means? 62 inches, 15 years, 71 pounds. Condition decomposed. ID method, dental, x-rays. Body found in a vehicle. They took 110 photos. Suicide, no. Physical evidence, yes. Medical evaluation, I think it's evaluation, no. Fingerprints, yes. Clothing, yes. Property, yes. Hospital RPT, no. Hospital chart, no. Wow. Manager noticed foul odor emanating from the vehicle. Detective Corps inspected the car's front, discovered a large black zippered body bag with handles. He partially opened the bag to reveal a human torso and the back of a head. Due to obvious signs of death, he pronounced the death on scene 1100 hours without medical intervention. She was wearing a tube top, underwear, leggings, and socks. I observed multiple holes in the front and the back of the tube top. She was missing both arms above the elbows and both legs above the knees. Underneath the body bag was a black trash bag that contained the decedent's apparent compiled bilateral arms and legs. They appear to have been dismembered into several fragments. He stabbed her in the liver and close to the lung. So tracks, uploads, videos, and album tracks all present different timelines. Yeah. That's what Joe Scott said. Oh, I love Joe Scott. Said stabbed several times. She posted a pic with finger and engagement ring. No, the ankle thing, it was mentioned. The ID tag. Oh, the ID tag. Okay. His YouTube and media uploads present on timeline with his album. Yeah. Contains a different timeline. That makes sense if she had it tatted. That's probably why he cut them off. Holy shit. He was definitely wasn't thinking right when he decided to leave her in his car. I feel probably thought they could never find her. Or was he going to dispose of her, or somebody else was, and they decided not to go through with it? And they left the car because they didn't want to be involved in a murder. Who's going to leave their Tesla, and not report it? You know what I mean? Like, not us. If my Tesla went missing, which I don't have a Tesla, but if it did, I'd be reporting that shit. They got scared and didn't go through with it. I'm thinking that's what it was. And I'm thinking maybe that's the reason for the grand jury and Neo getting arrested, and there's ex-girlfriends. Celeste wasn't the only victim. So I'm wondering if someone else had reported him, they were looking into him. Here's my theory. I think that either Celeste, her family, or because remember, her brother said that they had reported him too, but they didn't have enough evidence on him. So I wonder if when the brother or the family initially reported it, then they were watching him, monitoring him, and or someone else turned him in as well. Could have been someone online, it could have been someone that was involved, and then I think that David found out, whether it was from one of his friends or from something else or somewhere else, and that's when he was like, "I can't lose my career. I need to get rid of her." He invited her over, and that was the last time she was seen. Yeah. 100,000 nope, not leaving it. I know. Let's go over to, I wanna see, there's a lot of people talking about it on X, as well as I'm sure that people are gonna be doing live streams on it. Let's see. Medical examiner says Celeste was killed by penetrating injuries, was missing her left eye, and the same finger she had David's name tatted on was missing. Okay, so it was the finger she had David tatted on. Whoa. That's insane. Digital evidence, text communications, DA claims Celeste Rivas, then 13-14, threatened to publicly expose her alleged sexual relationship with 𝗲𝗺𝗃𝗍𝗍. They allege he then lured her to his house, last place she was seen alive, via messages. This is presented as a motive. He allegedly killed her to silence her and protect his music career. Forensic evidence, cause of death, medical examiner ruled died from a sharp instrument. Her body was later dismembered. We know that. There's his mugshot. We've already looked at this live. Medical examiner rules Celeste death, homicide caused by multiple penetrating injuries. Autopsy details might create big issues for the prosecution at trial. How sad. Look at how beautiful she is. Ugh. He doesn't even look the same. I know. Why is it when they get arrested, it's like the demon finally comes out? The demon that's been living inside them is like, "Oh, I did what I wanted to do, and now I can reveal myself." That darkness, that face. They all have it. Brian Koberger has it. Rex has it. Like, look at those eyes. Oof. Celeste Rivas' cause of death revealed. She got stabbed. She was 12 when David met her. David is a dwarf, by the way. Somebody's just hating on him, which is fine. Manner of death is a homicide with sharp instrument. The autopsy for Celeste Rivas reveals she died from multiple stab wounds to the torso. Investigators say one wound pierced her liver, another entered her chest between the ribs. Autopsy details released in Celeste Rivas' case: multiple penetrating injuries, amputated left ring and pinky fingers, severely decomposed body, head partially skeletonized, left absent eye. I can't get over the eyeball missing. And where the hell are her fingers? He needs to tell him where her fingers and her eyeball are if he took them. Or maybe the insects ate one of her eyeballs. Do they eat like the whole entire thing? Probably, right? Let's look that up. I think they eat everything, right? Ugh. Yes, insects feed on the eyes. Oh, after death, certain insects, especially flies, are attracted to the body. I can't. They usually go to soft, moist areas first. They include the eyes, mouth, nose, and open wounds. The eyes are soft and exposed. They dry out and break down quickly. They make one of the first places insects may lay or feed for eggs. May feed or lay eggs. The larva, yeah, the larva and the bugs. I want to like throw up. Flies may lay eggs, which they said they did find the maggots. Because she was in the trunk for so long. You guys, once them eggs hatch, they're eating everything in sight. He's sick enough to keep parts. Somebody has the fingers. Somebody has to know where they are, right? Whoever dismembered her or helped. I hope he didn't like eat the fingers or something. Can you imagine some ritualistic shit? You guys, I can't play it here. They copyright the hell out of you, by the way. Like I played it without the sound and they still copyrighted me. His music is very dark. Nature cleans up everything. I'm so disturbed. Okay, so we already know this. Okay, left eye absent. Los Angeles medical examiner has ruled 2 penetrating wounds of the torso. That's what killed her. The results show there was presumptive positives for benzodiazepine, methamphetamine, MDMA in her system. 2 penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges. Cause of death is multiple penetrating injuries. Homicide. I have a lot I want to go over with you guys about David, but I want to do a separate live for that, which was the live that we were supposed to go over today, but I changed it to the autopsy. He might have ate them. Nah, he got the fingers somewhere. So Bugs most likely got the eye and he has the fingers. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the fingers are somewhere. Buried somewhere. Maybe in the house. Maybe they found them. Oh my gosh, imagine that's the evidence they have on him too. Maybe they found his DNA on the bag, the body bags or something. And maybe they searched, or maybe there was video of the fingers somewhere. So Adderall or meth or Xannies or Klonopin, yeah. We don't. That's the thing is they don't name which one exactly, which benzodiazepine. They just say benzodiazepines. So we don't know which one exactly it was. Yeah, it says just benzodiazepine, methamphetamine, MDMA. The cocktail didn't work, so he stabbed her. Yeah, sounds about right. They should go check his house for the fingers. Got to be somewhere, or he cut her fingers so they couldn't identify her. So brutal. It has finally been unsealed. The report states she suffered 2 penetrating wounds to the torso and may represent the sharp force injuries. This will also be, TMZ says, this will also be interesting issue at trial. The autopsy report says it's a presumptive positive for methamphetamine and MDMA, but there was another screening which says methamphetamine inconclusive. Exactly, we saw that. The report says Celeste may have had alcohol in her system, but it did not contribute to her death. Yes, 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 because we saw on this autopsy right here, it says the designer opioids is inconclusive in the methamphetamine. So they weren't able to tell on some rugs. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. The devil's so deep in the world right now. It's bad. I know. How sad. Well, oh, I did want to show this video. This is one of the ones I was going to show when I did the David live, but I'll show it now. This is when the teacher was talking about her running away.
What? Hold up. That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
How long ago was
This we all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now in that rapper's car, pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media. Let me tell you another story.
Yeah. That first came out and everybody was like, oh my God, the teacher knew. And like, thank you, Patricia. That's crazy. The teacher's saying it. Wow, wow, wow. I can't even believe it. Ugh, his face, I can't. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate you. Ecstasy contains all of those drugs. You can tell he's not right in this picture. No words. Nope. She was just a child, you guys. She was just a child when they met. I wanted to go through all those receipts, but like I said, I'll do a different live for that stuff. I wanted to come on here and talk Celeste autopsy. I'm probably going to clip it and I'll probably drop the whole autopsy in a short so you guys can read it over yourself, share it, spread it. This man deserves the death penalty. He absolutely does. And she looks so young. The dangers of social media, right? And of meeting celebrities. We were all teenagers. Exactly. I have no faults for the family, but I pray for them as their pain is unimaginable. Yes, thank you, Beautifully Broken, for stating that, because I'm in the same boat as you. I was very harsh at first when we first covered it. There's a whole David playlist, Celeste playlist, because I was thinking, you know, bad home life is what kind of drove her away, but we actually don't really know yet. And maybe it wasn't a bad home life, and maybe she was just a rebel, like many of us have been in the past. And we cannot judge the family. I'm with you on that. I don't wish this on anyone. And I don't even have my own kids. So I don't even have kids. But I can't imagine to be told, you know, we couldn't ID her because her body is that badly decomposed and dismembered and severed. Her family did release a statement basically saying that it was too emotional for them that day we were waiting for the arraignment. They said it was too hard on them and they had been through a lot and they didn't want to comment, but they did release a picture of beautiful Celeste that we had not seen, and it is on the thumbnail that I used today. And this is it here when she was younger. So sad. R.I.P. Celeste. I'll probably make this into a pretty background with like angels or something in the background. So sad, you guys. So sad. My heart breaks for her family and Celeste. It really does. Arlene Tonero. What's up? I can't believe it. I can't believe we finally got. Thank you, Patricia. But he was so dumb to think he would get away with it. And you're right. The narcissism, right? He really thought he was going to get away with it. And then when his friend got arrested, he was probably like, oh, my friend won't throw me under the bus, Neo this, Neo that. So young to die, so innocent. I don't get mad over things with court, but this got me pissed. It got me pissed too. It does. He's disgusting. To go after a 10-year-old girl. Where's her fingers? Where is her fingers? Tell her family they deserve the peace. She deserves her soul to rest. Where are her 2 fingers? Seriously. They did release the friend. Neo was arrested and released. That's why I think Neo maybe had something to do with it. Maybe he decided to give more information than that he knew. No eyeball, 2 fingers, dismembered. What a brutal death. What a brutal, brutal death. And to keep thinking, keeping her in the trunk of a Tesla. That's why I think things went wrong. That's why I think things went wrong. Someone changed their mind. Someone didn't want to participate. Someone realized something. He was on tour. Other people knew. Do you think she was sacrificed type of satanic shit? You know, he had a alter ego. Remember? We'll have to cover this when we do the David Live. But he had an alter ego by the name of 𝗍𝗲𝗍. Yeah. And this 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 is the one who was performing at all of those concerts and videos and stuff. So yeah, he had an alter ego named 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍. Weird. I know. Yeah. I know. It's so weird. Let's look that up. Alter ego D4VD. We'll probably go into depth on the David Live. Yeah, 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 is a murderous alter ego created by David Burr to represent an agent of chaos and the evil version of himself. The character is a central part of David's artistic world, featuring heavily in music videos, particularly romantic homicide, and is inspired by Japanese anime. 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 is usually visually represented in videos by character wearing a blindfold and blade shirts. David described 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 as part of the conceptual manga series he created, where 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 is an evil entity that takes over his body to commit murders, while David plays a detective trying to solve the crimes he committed himself. Yeah. Hi, La Karma. Good to see you, love. Quit playing, Lintonero. Yeah. David has compared his dynamic to Fight Club and Tyler Durden, where alter egos act independently of his conscious self. In 2025, D4VD indicated a change in his creative direction, with the character of 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍 being treated as having died around August of 2025. I hope he doesn't try to use that in court. Can I get the spelling? Yeah, it's with an I. You had it spelled right. It's 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍. 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍. I hope he doesn't try to say that he's, oh, I'm a psycho. It was 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍. It reminds me of the Athena Strand case right now, where Tanner says, oh, it was 0. I'm like, dude, it wasn't 0. You're a sick fuck and you murdered a child. Like, hard stop, period. That's it. Anyways, I'm glad we went over the autopsy. I know hella people are going over it now, but honestly, on my end, I was the first one to start doing a live about it. I'm sure everyone will be too. So we've heard it, we know it. Now we can share that knowledge. I will be dropping some clips I will be dropping the full autopsy too for others to use and share. And like I said, I had a live planned for all things David. I might move that to later or tomorrow. I did also have Laura Owens planned today and Gypsy Rose. So I'll see which one I schedule next. I have to look on my schedule and see what's going on. So I've been waiting for Melly to go on today to speak about this topic. Oh, La Karma. We went over the whole autopsy, girl, replay. It's so sad. So basically, she was missing her eyeball, one eyeball, and we think that was due to the insects. And she was missing her left ring finger and pinky finger, and those were not found. Itami is a spiritual meaning. It's beyond anime, and if anything, it's where anime got it from. Well, that's who he says it was. He was Itami, or whatever. Oh, they know if you're off, they can tell. Yeah. After I seen his pics, his eyes say a lot about it. I know. He looks like a monster. And that mugshot, man, this one. It's like, oh, suddenly you don't look how you did in your videos and at your concerts. You're scary, man. Scary. Scary, scary. Yeah, I know like everybody's going to be covering the autopsy. Mental illness will not get him off. Nope. I think the prosecutor, Nathan, what's his name? Hockman, sounded pretty confident. And I think that they have enough on him. And I'm crossing my fingers that this is the first case since 2006, so 20 years to see the death penalty. Although we know how that works. There's multiple appeals. He probably won't be put to death until he's like 60, but at least if he gets the death penalty, he deserves it. He deserves it. Just like Tanner in the Athena Strand case. He deserves it as well. I don't wish death upon anyone, but these crimes, I hope they have enough to convict him also. Yeah. But I know that the whole drug thing, finding diazepines and stuff in her system, I think will probably be a problem at trial. So there's that. And I hope they don't offer him a plea deal because that would piss me off. If they're like, tell us where the location of the fingers are and we'll take the death penalty off the table or something, you know? Sick. I hope they don't even offer him a plea deal. He's 21. So he was 20 when he did this because he just turned 21 on March 28th. David was born March 28th, 2005. And Celeste was born September 7th, 2010. Is that right? I hope that's right. He old, but exceptions can be made. Yeah, I know. So sad. Anyways, let's hope that Celeste gets the justice that she deserves. R.I.P. beautiful Celeste. She died a brutal death. And she was just a kid when she was groomed. So we need to remember that. Someone mentioned they waited to file charges now because he could be tried as an adult versus a minor. I'm just glad, you guys. We waited 7 months. I hadn't even covered the case because in a while because I was like, okay, there's a lot going on and we don't know. We haven't heard anything. Police wasn't giving any information. And then boom, all at once, we get it. A monster would be if I ever met him and shake his hand. I'm tired of PDFs being everywhere. They're everywhere. He's a monster. Yeah. She was young. They met allegedly when she was like 11, 12, something between the ages of 10 and 12 online. So gross. You know when a child is a child. It might be a little more difficult to tell, you know, from teenager to early adult. Maybe, But a child, you know when a child is a child. And you know when you're having sex with one. Not that we would do that, but you know what I'm saying? He knew she was a child. He knew what he was doing. Abusing and grooming. R.I.P. Celeste, I know. Maybe because the age of how long she had been dead. She was in a trunk for months. And then insects ate her eyeball. It's brutal, but that's exactly what happened in the non-science terms. Where the hell are her 2 fingers? Where the hell are her 2 fingers? I'm like, that's going to traumatize me the rest of the day. Where are her pinky finger and her ring finger from her left hand? Not in the body bags. So somewhere, that thick F. Get him, Melly. I'm going to be at the trial, you guys. If this goes to trial, I am going to try my hardest to be there. I am. I would love that. So let's hope that I can make it there. Something to live by is if you have questions her age, then she's too young. Exactly, Lintonero. And why are the fingers missing? Because it had his name. One of them had his name. 13 is when she left home. I hope he didn't eat them. It's disturbing. I hope they let cameras in court. And thank you for reminding me, Sour Girl. There is a hearing tomorrow, a preliminary hearing, and no cameras allowed. Yeah, it got approved. No cameras allowed in tomorrow's hearing. So we'll have to get the updates from sources who are there and journalists who have connections. They're not allowing the public for tomorrow's preliminary hearing because it could affect the case, all this stuff. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But anyways, shout out to you guys for being here. Like I said, I will be clipping stuff from this live and posting the autopsy. This is a big case. They should let cameras in. I know. It's like the Luigi Mangione case too. You know, the guy who shot the CEO, the United Healthcare. Why? Where is it? Go, Melly recorded. I know, right? It's far. It's a couple hours for me. I don't think I can make it by tomorrow, but I'll definitely try to make it to the trial. I have family really close to where the trial's being held, so I have a place to stay. At least there's that much. That's the thing. Even after the body was discovered, he had enough time to tamper with whatever. There was a lot of time. Her body was in a trunk or in a bag or somewhere for like 5 months. He killed her in April, dismembered her in May, and she wasn't found till September. So what is that? So like 5 months? May, June, July, August, September. So like 4 months. Meta glasses for court. I know, huh? I need those. I need to get them. Like on my, you're right. Thank you, Debbie, for being here. Luigi's for the people. He is. He is. Thank you, badass, for being here. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you, La Karma. This is why I support her pod. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Excellent live. Gracias. Yes, thank you, Claudia, for being here. Perhaps the fingers are in the house where they smell the smell because he surely wouldn't leave the body, but maybe the fingers were rotten in the house. But they searched the house. So they dumped them somewhere or ate them is all I can think. I'll try to steal them from BD. Maybe I can borrow them. Maybe I can borrow them from BD, Blue Devil. He was a cruel person. He was. Anyways, shout out to you guys. I love and appreciate you guys for being here. Please make sure you tap the like button. Like I said, don't you worry if you want the autopsy report. I will post it as a short. And I don't watermark or do any of that because I think awareness is key. And I'm not here for that. I'm just here to spread awareness. So I'll drop the autopsy report And then I will clip as well. We do have another live plan later for today. I don't know if it's going to be Gypsy or Laura Owens, but I hope to see you guys there. We love you. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Yes, please rewatch. The beginning has a lot of good info if you guys missed it. Thank you, Teresa, for being here. I will catch you guys on the next live. I love and appreciate you. And don't forget to tap the like button on the way out. Justice for little Celeste, little angel Celeste. How sad. So sad. I'll see you guys on the next one.